It really made me, and this is maybe why, I mean, we talked for 3 hours about this movie after. We were just like, why did we, because kind of forced me to do a self-inventory about when was that I've made money. I've also not made money. And I don't know that there's a correlation, if I were to graph it, to happiness. In fact, if I really think about the time when I was most happy, it was when I was making the least money, and my children were small, and I was a stay-at-home dad writing a book. Like that was, if I really, really examined and broke it down, like that was most happy.
I think you hit the nail on the head with the comparative analysis. Yeah. And that was what I was really looking at, was how the American dream had changed and the way we used to compare ourselves with our neighbors. And there was like the keeping up with the Joneses kind of at the heart of the American dream, like the neighbor who had a slightly better car or a slightly better model house. And that what's happened is we're just bombarded with images of luxury and affluence, and you know, it started in the 80s and then accelerated with reality TV and then social media. And we spend more time with the people that we know on television, like the Kardashians, than we do, like my son says in the film, than we do with our own neighbors. And then we want what they have. And not only is it completely unrealistic, it's also curated and fictional. We need to really look at how we're all complicit in generation wealth. I'm so happy that you said your response was thinking about your own relationship with money and things, because that's exactly what I hope happens from the film. And so I felt like when I get implicated by my son in the film, I felt like I had to include that too.
Well, it is, to me, it's the most touching moment in the film is your son confronting you and like calling you out, and the fact that you included it is so brave. I mean,
bold. Yeah.
I mean, it just so that really, I think that's what really got me, you know, examining my own life and choices I've made. And I think that's also what made the film so uncomfortable. I think we all walked out confused about in a way that was a positive conversation. But we've seen also the disparity now. There may be 3.9% unemployment in the United States, but where's the middle class going? I mean, and you mentioned Trump. I almost feel that he's given a pass by his base, because if they could be him, they would be that way.
That's exactly what I found driving kind of generation wealth, that Americans don't hate the rich because they always imagine that will be them. So they will be that person someday. Mm-hmm. And in a way, that's the kind of matrix that we're living in, the fake it till you make it. I mean, the reality is that we've never had so little social mobility. I think the UN report on poverty that just came out said your zip code is the best predictor of your future. And that's originally why I included my dad and my parents, to kind of compare that to their generation, because my dad came from a poor immigrant family, went to a public school, and felt he could do anything. And he and many of his friends did. And I think that American dream is dead to most of us. And that's why, in a way, it does feel like the fall of Rome, because there's a kind of, in a way, decadence and also fictitious social mobility, as Chris Hedges calls it, in the form of bling and kind of fake rich, or fake it till you make it, that's replaced the social mobility that we used to have.